Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Enter the Gungeon. We're gonna do some good old-fashioned gungeoneering here. Hoping to break the recent trend of episodes having, like, random stuff in them that's sort of actively detracts from the viewing experience. Anybody who just yesterday watched, episode 12 will have a good idea of what I'm talking about. Did just realize, forgot to actually look up how to get to the pasts. So, you know, that's not great. But if it's any consolation, like, for one thing, we probably weren't going to be able to do that anyway. For another, I would be pretty content with just killing the dragon again. I don't know. Maybe that makes me some sort of sucker, but like, dang, did you see that dragon kill in the last episode? I am not afraid to say when I've done a good job on a thing, and I think I did a pretty good job on that dragon kill. I think we came out of that with only half a heart left. That's what they call clutch in the industry. I don't know what industry. Certainly not the Let's Play industry, which has been, going through the burst phase of the bubble, boom, and burst cycle, or however that term goes. You know, the economics thing. You know what I'm talking about. You're all smart people. You know how it goes in the world. Alrighty. We got a green chest, but I'm not really interested in green when we only have one key. Shoot it up and save the heart piece. Let's get going. We probably could just do the boss, but I'm gonna try a little bit of a different tactic. I had the thought that getting the mastery round for the first floor significantly improves your chances further down the line. And I think it will be easier to get that. Obviously not necessarily guaranteed, but easier. If we have, like, some other decent gun. So if we come across another chest that's, like, better than silver, basically, we'll pop it open, and we'll see if we can't get our hands on something pretty decent to help us tackle whomever the first boss might be with it. I have no strong preferences in that area, honestly. The Trigger Twins, the Bullet King, and the Gatling Gull, they're all about equally difficult, to my estimation. Gatling Gull might be a little bit harder, depending on what, like, room layout you get. There's another one we can put in the bank. Okay, well, we got green. I don't actually remember if green is strictly better than silver. We'll poke around a little bit more, and if we can't find a better one, we'll pop open that one. Trying to approach this game with, like, just the slightest bit more strategy. Although, as I've made clear several times at this point, like, series came and will probably go on my whim, rather than anything explicitly planned out. I do have another, pardon me, another thing that is, like, in the pipeline. But time will tell what becomes of that. I don't want to get too involved in that right now. I do have, in fact, another thing in the pipeline, which I would talk about if I was, like, you know, the type to try to drum up hype. But I'm actually pretty terrible at that, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it now. I've got a Dr. Pepper with me, because, like, part of the ongoing meta-narrative with my video stuff is apparently, like, having every possible brand of cola at my side. I don't know if Dr. Pepper really technically counts as a soda. I know they try to say that it's a spicy cherry flavor, which is not a thing. What is this little man? Baby good skeleton. Grave lad. What's this all about? Well, I take a sip of my drink. I guess he just, like, follows us around and acts as a slightly weaker version of the proper skeleton monster from a bit later down in the Gungeon. If I had to take an educated guess, at least. Well, it's not a gun, but, like, if I am correct about that, I'm still pretty happy to have it. So let's take a crack at the Bullet King here. Ah, where's my man? There he is. Okay. I don't know what he's doing up there, but I'm gonna try not to worry too much about him and mostly worry about not getting hit. Oh, I think he killed the Vizier, or the Prime Minister, or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he totally did. Look at that. Now that's a good little anarchist. I need to show Win this clip. Alrighty. Yeah, he's got like a green laser that he shoots out his eyes. I like this guy. I hope we have a nice long run so I can enjoy his company. You know, I think that it's very interesting, the relation that the player has to familiars in this game versus, like, the Binding of Isaac, where they're not usually particularly good. Several of the familiars in this game, at least by my admittedly uneducated opinion, seem, like, really good. Alright, we got the mastery round and the mailbox gun. I think we're pretty much good to go down to the next floor right away. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Alright, Gungeon proper, Chamber 2. Doesn't Chamber 2 sound like the name of a movie? If there were 36 chambers, that's an album. Not gonna worry about anything in here just yet. If we need a key, we can come buy one later. And this is just that shrine room that I still don't understand how to use. If I'm gonna do more episodes of this series, I should really look some of this shit up. Like, I've been playing this game for like 3 years now, almost, and I still don't know what some of these things do. Seriously though, like, our little buddy's going to town. Wow, I sounded extremely Midwest when I said that, which is funny because I'm from Pennsylvania. Although I do live in the Midwest nowadays, as anybody who has ever watched more than one of my videos will know. Get dunked on, sir. No. Phooey. God, I hate these things. Normally, when you play a video game for a long time, the enemies that are super annoying, like, gradually become less so. Not so with the Lead Maidens, which is what those things are actually called, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, you know, the rubber bullet guys, even these axe guys to a lesser extent. Like, I've kind of got a handle on them by now. The Lead Maidens basically still hate them as much as I did the first time I encountered one. Kill Dynamite Hetty over there, and we're on our way. I'm actually, like, really impressed with this little skeleton boy. We should think up a name for him. I'm thinking Oscar. That's, like, a good name for a skeleton, right? I don't know how you figure out what a good name for a skeleton is. But I've got a friend that is, you know, he's big on skeletons, and his name is Lex. And to me, Lex and Oscar have similar name energy. So we're definitely going to go with Oscar the skeleton. Now, I could have gone with something alliterative, like Sheldon or Shirley. But that would be too easy. You know, I am above such easy paths to memorableness. was gonna say memorabilia, but that's not what that word means. Memorabilia is like swag that you get that reminds you of something. Not swag as in like Soulja Boy swag. Swag as in like stuff. Do people even use that word that way anymore? I'm not entirely sure. It was this old G-Force Tech TV skit where they talked about it's like fucking like super nerd that was a combination of a geek and a nerd called a gnerd, and the idea of making a distinction between those two things was pretty foreign to me when I first saw it as a kid, and is even more so to me now. Like, what is the difference between a geek and a nerd? If you put a gun to my head, I could not tell you. Because putting a gun to somebody's head doesn't actually, like, make them know things, despite what, like, Jack Bauer seems to believe. I shouldn't reference that show, also, because I've never actually seen it. Although I know when it was airing, I saw several people unfavorably compare Magical Girl Special Ops Asuka to it, which tells you a whole lot about that show, just between that comparison and the title, I think. I do not recommend that one, because it's bad. We got one of these lottery chests. I still don't quite understand how these work. We got a tea kettle? Teapot. Monocular monster. What's this do? Never seen this one before. Ignites nearby enemies while reloading. Well, I'm pretty good with that. It says it's semi-automatic. I would have guessed like a beam weapon, honestly. But I guess we'll try that out on the boss and see how that goes. Because the mailbox gun is like, it's fine, but it's not particularly good. Also, I believe I am nursing an ear infection, so that's great. Ah, the duct tape. Okay. So the duct tape is a fascinating item. I'm gonna buy it. And it lets you combine two guns together. Now, would it be so kind as to come with instructions? Yes, okay. I would like... I don't know if this is gonna work. And if it doesn't work, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. But that's okay. I want to combine the teapot with our base gun and see if that will make like a weaker version of this that has infinite ammo. This might be foolhardy. It also might not work. It might just combine it with the mailbox gun instead, but we'll find out. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I need to press it again, and I can't do it on the sidearm. Fair enough. Now we have a gun that is both a tea kettle and a mailbox. Good lord, this game is weird. I'm a sucker for the duct tape item. I've only gotten it a handful of times, but it's like... It's such a conceptually interesting thing that I can't not buy it when I see it if I have the capability of doing so. Goodness, this is one hell of a room we got going on here. Ouch. That's gonna hurt. Yep. Oh, Jesus. Hungry bullets unlocked? I guess you unlock that by, like, killing a certain number of those, pit monster things that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head. Whoa, what the fuck? Hi! Fuck off, please? Forever? Kind of panicked there, admittedly, but I think you would too if you were suddenly attacked by a section of wall. I have not seen that monster before. Cool, more things to be paranoid about. Goodness, golly, gracious, almighty. Table Tech Blank, by the way, is still one of my favorite, like, more common items in the game. It is very handy to be able to just dispel every bullet in the room with if you've got a table handy, without actually using any of your blanks. Is that the whole stuff, then? I think it is. We probably don't strictly need this, but I kind of want to buy it anyway. Yeah, let's buy an extra key, it's fine. I think we'll be fine. Admittedly, I do feel like I'm jinxing myself just by saying that, but let's go here. Okay, it's the Gorgon. Alright. Dodge and weave. We're doing good damage. You might argue that I should have waited for better guns to tape together with the duct tape. And maybe you're right, but like I get the thing so rarely that I usually just can't resist using it as soon as I pick it up. Cause it's the thing with like resurrection items in JR. Oh. Okay, I got Sir Junker. I understand. I still would have preferred, like, an actual gun, but okay. Like, it's the same thing as with resurrection items and JRPGs and such. Like, if you wait too long, you'll never actually get a chance to use it, because you'll be dead by the time you could have. But maybe I'm just excusing my own bad practices. We do now only really have that one gun as far as stuff other than our base gun that we start with. Got like a decent little squad going on here though. Is this your squad goals? Hashtag and reply if it's your bay. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with. This is a parody of nothing. Sound like a fucking brand account on Twitter. Alright. Ooh, we got a jammed up here. That's interesting. I didn't think I had... Oh, okay. You know what? I think those guys can summon jammed, or can, like... They can, like, curse enemies that are in the room and make them jammed. What I was gonna say is, that's weird, because I don't think we have any curse right now. But I believe those little guys with the Pope hats on can do that, like, regardless. Wow. I can't even be mad about that. He fucking got me. I mean, okay, I can be, like, a little bit mad about it, to be honest with you. Oh, good, it's one of these fuckers. Oh, well, don't mind if I do. Building up a nice heart reserve for later on. I really like that they added that feature. Makes the game, like, just the tiniest bit easier for dumb persons like myself. I don't know what the hell happened in there. Not gonna think too hard about it. I guess we'll just keep going down. I don't know what I'm thinking about here. Green chest is just not worth it. We've only got 2 keys. Yeah, we got the Super Soaker. The Mega Dowser. It's a Super Soaker. Come on now. And you know, the Mega Dowser's not very good, but it's probably better to use this than to spend the ammo from our better gun. Although actually, if I'm remembering right, this doesn't actually do any damage. Is that correct? No. No, it does. Okay. Definitely more useful for, like, pushing enemies into pits and stuff, but that's obviously not going to work with something like the spider, which it flies. You can also use it to douse fires, which is a use. It's not, you know, something that you're going to want to do super often, but that doesn't make it not a thing that you can use it for. All right, gamers, let's do this. I lived, I laughed, I loved. Bitch. Okay, we got a Killithid. Okay, we are definitely going to use this to refill. I meant to use it on the mailbox gun, and I used it on the Mega Dowser by accident because I was overthinking things again. All right, well, that's an ammo box wasted. I feel very silly about that. I mean, I've definitely made worse mistakes in this game. I've made worse mistakes, like, on camera. But I do feel very silly about that. We shouldn't forget, we do have the, like, the ammo refill on demand active that we just get from, like, starting as the Marine. Regular shotgun, we're gonna try to pick that up, because it's pretty solid, if I remember correctly. Obviously not amazing or anything, it is just a regular shotgun, of course. But, like, you know. It's a matter of principle. You see shoddy, you get shoddy. No, not shorty, that's something else entirely. Look, just go on Urban Dictionary. This is not a video where I explain AAVE to people. I would be a terrible person to do that for several reasons. Okay. I got hit there, and I don't feel great about it. I shouldn't be too hard on myself, though. I've actually managed to avoid taking too much damage during this run so far. Let me get that gun. Thank you, bud. I'm gonna take a heart piece from here, and we're gonna get to rolling. Well, like I said, if I remember right, the regular shotgun is pretty decent. A little bit better than the sawed-off that the Convict starts with. Long reload time, though. I forgot about that. So you want to make the most out of those bursts. Can I just say how happy I am that, like, in every gun in this game that has discrete, like, you know, discrete releases of ammunition, which is the most heady way I could have possibly put that, like, every shot is one piece of ammo on the counter. Like, there's no stuff where it's like, oh, the shotgun has 500 ammo, but it uses 5 ammo every time it fires. I hate that stuff, and it's bad. I don't want to have to do math while I'm playing your video game, unless your video game is like, you know, an edutainment game for small children. Then it's fine, but... Or if it's like a puzzle game, then it's also fine. But, like, most of the time, I'm not trying to do arithmetic when I am doing stuff with big guns, big blunts. Any motherfucker that likes to roll. These are lyrics from Piss Test by A-Track. Don't worry about it. Is that the name of the... It's one of those songs that's like, the producers made it, so it's attributed to them, but then there's like a bunch of featured rappers on it. It's Jim Jones, the Flatbush Zombies, and LP. At least that's the version that I'm thinking of. There was also a remix, and I can't remember if the version that I'm quoting is the remix or the original. Because, you know, it's not really that important in the grand scheme of things. Unless I was, like, writing a... I almost said know your meme, which is completely wrong. Like a rate your music thing. Ah, bellmen! No! I've had enough of that when I played fucking Bloodborne. I actually think that the Mind Flayer is one of the easier bosses from this stage, which is weird because he was added in an expansion. I say that and then immediately have to blank because I forgot about this ricocheting bullets business. Also, like, now I'm just taking damage for my arrogance, which I suppose is fair. Like, I basically combined these guns together on a whim, but they seem to do pretty well together. What's this? Ah! Okay, forgot that the fucking item pedestal in the boss room could be a mimic. That is a thing that can happen. But you get an extra item out of it. So what the hell? Crown of Guns, all hail. Okay, well I'll get back to that in a second. Jetpack, to fly. Alright, we got some good stuff going on here. I'm gonna refill this, and then we're gonna pick up the jetpack. And, yeah, you just toggle it on and off. You can't roll while you got the jetpack on, so that's good to know. That's good to keep in mind. What is the gun crown all about? Fires rapidly in all directions. Okay. Like, this seems like a great thing for room clearing. Not so much, bosses, but that's fine. Like, we could definitely do with a better room clear gun, so, like, I'm good with that. Gonna make some withdrawals here. Ah, he's empty. We'll have to try to really, like, keep our wits about us down here. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Keep your wits about you? Know what I mean? I don't know what this voice is. Alright, let's do the damn thing. Wow. Alright. They're not kidding. This really does rapidly fire bullets in all directions. You can reload it. I'm not sure why you'd ever need to, because it looks like it's all just one really long clip. But, you know. I have yet to discover any reason why I would not want to do this every time I come across it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. If there is a reason, and I don't happen to look it up by the time the next episode rolls out, let me know. Because, you know, sometimes people make mistakes. It happens to the best of us. We got the unfinished gun and a heart. The unfinished gun is not very good, so we will probably feed it and the Super Soaker to a muncher if we come across one. Okay, I'm noticing a slight problem with the gun crown, and it's not one you might expect. It's that it is really, like, destroying my attention span. Like, I can't keep track of what bullets are mine and what aren't, even though enemy bullets are another color. I don't know, that probably sounds silly, because it is silly, but, like, I don't know. What did we get? The Phoenix. Okay, this one's, like, alright, I think. Oh, it's you. Wrong button. Yeah, I got some stuff I can give you. Hold on. How do I do this again? You know, I figured it out. There we go, okay. Triangle. Thanks, bud. That guy used to appear in shops sometimes, and now he has his own dedicated room. I wonder if that was, like, considered to be, like, overpowered or something, so they nerfed it. Or if it's just that, like, he still does appear in shops, and I just haven't had it happen since I started playing again. Also very possible. God, I'm taking too much damage. Need to get this under control. I say immediately before being shot again. I don't know why I'm bothering to reload this thing. Okay. Maybe I should switch to a different, like... I know that it's good, but it's really fucking with my ability to pay attention to where the bullets are that I need to be avoiding. Okay. I learned something about these guys with the red cloaks. If you shoot them while they're doing their little dance, they don't get shot, they just absorb, they just absorb the bullets into their... Damn it! Into their dance, and will fire them back at you. So you really have to nail the timing, which I am consistently failing to do. Okay, thank you, little boy. Thank you, Oscar. You are a lifesaver. You're not, you're a skeleton, but, like, you're, like, metaphorically a lifesaver. You know what I mean. What's this now? Hip holster, quick draw. Does this, like, improve our switching speed or something? Fires a bullet upon reloading. Okay. This is what I get for opening green chests. I don't know, maybe it's more useful than I'm giving it credit for, but it doesn't seem that way. Yeah, it's literally just a bullet. Like, they were not mincing words there. Ooh, we need that. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to engage my backpack. Jetpack, not backpack. You don't need to engage a backpack traditionally. You just usually put things in it. And I guess zipping it up could be construed as engaging it in a way, but, like, that's a very silly distinction to make, in my opinion. Very strange thing to call that. Jetpack, jetpack. I'm your jetpack taking you over various pits. Anything that you might need, I emit. Almost brought it home there. Not quite. My younger brothers used to watch a ton of Dora the Explorer. I was a little bit too old for it to be part of, like, my childhood experience specifically, but I got a lot of that stuff secondhand. Which I guess still makes it part of my childhood experience. It just, like, wasn't intended for me, and when it was on, I was like, can we watch Ed, Edd, and Eddy instead? And my mom would be like, no, because, like, this is educational. Which, I mean, you know, fair. I was probably annoyed about that at the time, but, you know, you gotta let the kids have their kid shows. Sometimes I watch kid shows now, and, like, they're definitely not for me. Nobody is fucking targeting Star Twinkle Precure at me, but it's a good series, so I'll watch it anyway. We are running low on health. I'm gonna just, like, hopefully have Skeleton, or our Skeleton, Oscar, take care of the boys down there, and I'll take care of the ones in the blue cloak. One's in the blue cloak. I thought there was only the one, but there's actually multiple. I don't like. I'm Chief Keef. Okay. What if I used fire? Okay, yeah, that worked. Neat use for the Phoenix gun. Found. Oh boy. You know, I'm not saying that we're gonna win this run, however, I am doing significantly better now that I switched to the shotgun. I think the bullet crown might just fuck with my perception too much to be something that I really want to use often. Maybe I'll eventually learn to come to love it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna take this, and I would have taken the key, but I do not have enough money for it. Yeah. Now we're like a little bit better off, but make no mistake, we are still deep in the pit here. I'm gonna take a second to take a drink. I don't know why I said that like that. Usually when people say drank instead of drink, they're talking about lean. Actually, I don't know if people do still say that anymore. I'm not in on that particular subculture. They might call it something else nowadays. Like, I tried to think of a funny alternate name for lean, and I could not. So, that's one. That's one for Texan slang, and 0 for me. By the way, did you know that in some parts of Scotland they call soda juice? I think I've mentioned that in 4 separate videos this week. Like, 2 live stream VODs, or no, 1 live stream VOD and 2 episodes of this, which I guess makes 3 and not 4. I'm great at counting. But you know, it's funny, because like, soda's not juice. Those crazy Scots. I'm just kidding. You can call stuff whatever you want most of the time. As long as people know what you're talking about, it's fine. There are exceptions, of course, but, you know. You'll know them when you come across them. Alright, we have to beat the kill pillars without getting hit, basically, since I think their bullets all do a full heart of damage. Surely this is an easily achievable task that we will accomplish with aplomb. Also, for the love of God, do not engage the jetpack. The dodge roll is crucial here. Even more so than on most boss fights. Probably the most crucial in the game, other than the Dragon. And possibly some bosses that I have not yet fought. Alrighty. Fuck. We were doing okay there, but I didn't really think we had a chance on that one. Alright. Goodness, that run was 35 minutes long. We'll do one more, though. We'll do one more. Won't even go back to the breach. We're just gonna jump right back in like a person who jumps. Good metaphor, Jane. I'm great at talking. Okay, need to get used to the fact that, again, that we do not have table tag blank at this time. Because I integrate it into my room clearing strategy when I have it. So I'm going to be like out here trying to flip tables in order to make bullets vanish, which is just not a thing. I don't get the capes. Like, I know they're related to unlocking one of the secret characters, but I don't know what you do with them to make them do that, or if it's just like you have to kill a certain amount. It might well just be that. I'll look it up after this run is over. I'll look that up, and I'll look up what you have to do to get to the past for a given character. Because if I'm gonna play this game for even like another episode, even just another episode or two, I should at least make an honest effort to get as far as I can. Alright. Get Bish Boom Bod on. You know, it occurs to me between the episode of this that I'm recording right now, the one that I am in the process of uploading in the background while I play this, and the secret third thing that I hopefully will get done today. I think I have videos for every day this week. Is that correct? Let me think here while I shoot these guys in the face. Today is Tuesday, and there's a video going up today. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and there's going to be a video going up tomorrow, and then Thursday. No, we would need one for Friday yet. So I got one for most days this week. That's still better coverage than I had for, like, even most of the time when I was trying to be a full-time Let's Player. And at this point, I'm basically just doing it for fun, although, you know, certainly don't turn down donations, as you are all well acquainted with at this point. What does Table Tech Heat do? I don't remember. Heat and flame upon flipping of a table. Okay, so I guess it just makes fire when you do a table flip. That's cool. The Winchester rifle is nothing super special. I'm just gonna buy a key. And if we find a good chest, I'll pop it open. Honestly, even if we find a mediocre chest, I might still pop it open. I really do think that the first floor master round is an indicator of success, which everybody who's played this game for more than like 10 minutes is probably going to be out here going like, obviously. But you know, when you take like a 2-year break from playing a game, you forget some obvious things. Alright. I got a gorilla for sale. That's what I call my gun. Call him Gorilla. That's not actually true. Also, go follow Milk Ape on Twitter. That dude's hilarious. That was a completely sincere endorsement. I know it sounded sarcastic because of my flat millennial tone of voice, but it actually was just like a genuine endorsement of at. I think his actual at is @ape_milk. Might be wrong about that. What does C4 do again? I don't remember. Right. I'm gonna be totally honest. I actually don't think this is more useful than our ammo refill. I know it's only one time, but like, it's just bombs that you can use multiple times. Like, it's not worthless, but I just don't think it's very worthful either. And I'd rather just hang on to the ammo until we need it. I guess I could have brought it with me in here and then gone back for the ammo, which would have been like the smart thing to do. Also, my nose started itching, so that's great. That's a great thing to happen in the middle of a high-intensity firefight with the boss of the first floor. Ooh, I didn't need to use a blank there, but I would rather waste a blank than get hit, given the choice. Fucking blah. Blah. Well, gang. I guess I need to go take a dip in the lake to repent for my sins. No, I'm kidding. Still, though, I feel bad about that. We almost had him. Would like you to envision me pressing the fucking button from last week tonight that says we got him, and it like launches the fucking banner and the balloons and shit. We can get going on down to the next floor. We did get the charge shot, which I believe is like a pretty good gun. If a little cumbersome, if memory serves. Also, I should point out, I have played this a little bit between episodes, but like not very much. I deliberately did not do anything particularly crazy. I did find out that there's a game mode where you get a new gun. Like, you only ever have one gun, but it changes, like, after inflicting a certain amount of damage. So you've got one gun that's constantly changing, but it costs hegemony credits to use that game mode, so I think that's something that I might do, like, once, probably next episode, and then not do again for a while. Because I'm not good enough at this game yet where I can just burn hegemony credits willy-nilly. Ah, I guess that's what... I don't quite understand what this circle of heat does. I will say, I don't think those things normally do that. I don't know. Weird. Maybe it ignites, like, webbing and oil and such? If so, that's an extremely niche item, but not necessarily one that I'm unhappy to have. Yo, I need to get a haircut. My hair keeps dangling down onto my nose and making my nose itch. Collar pop, Jolly Roger, die, motherfucker, die. Oh no! I'm Mr. Heat Miser. Yeah, okay, that was a stupid thing to do, to be fair. Okay, the second one was just uncalled for. Seriously, fuck those, like, buffer guys. I guess they're bards? Like, you consider what the traditional role of a bard is and how they appear to, make the other enemy stronger by, like, chanting? I think bard fits. I don't know what they're actually called. I could open the Ammonomicon and find out, but, you know, fuck you. I'm just kidding. That would be a rude thing to say in sincerity, right? Rude thing to say in sincerity. Alright, 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 alright. Pop, 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 watching younger bullets drop. I don't know why I said younger, as though my character was also a bullet. Maybe I've accidentally just exposed, like, the plans for Enter the Gungeon 2. Nah, I think Dodge Roll have said that they're pretty much done with this franchise. I might be wrong about that. I know they're done with this game, specifically. So I don't think there's going to be an Enter the Gungeon 2. Speaking of sequels to, like, well-acclaimed action roguelikes, I really need to get my hands on fucking, hold on, the name will come to me. Risk of Rain 2. That would be, like, a great thing to play both on the channel, like on my YouTube channel, and on the Shapes and Forms live streams. And I, like, legitimately love the original Risk of Rain. The only reason I didn't play it as much as I've played some of the other games in its general family is that it wasn't super well optimized, and it did not run very well on my laptop, which is kind of a problem if it's an action game. Get dusted. Ooh. Yes. Okay, what is this bad boy? Strafe gun, bleeding edge gameplay. Alright, what do you do, sir? Fires explosive nails that detonate when the trigger is released or after a brief period of time. Interesting. This must be a reference to another game. Wait, no, it totally is. There's a game called Strafe, which I've never played, but I believe it's like a retro first-person shooter. Sort of in the vein of something like, there are other examples, hold on. Ion Maiden is one that came out semi-recently. There's a couple of those. Like, they're like sort of the 2.5D sprite-based graphical style of something like Doom, and they apply that to a modern gameplay landscape. We're gonna try using the strafe gun, or not the strafe gun, the charge gun for the boss, because I feel like the strafe gun will probably be better as a room clearer than I did the thing I always do, which is I rolled away from the beam rather than what you're supposed to do, which is roll across it. But yeah, I remember the charge gun being decent at boss clearing, I think. Certainly seems to be getting the job done. I'm still a little annoyed that I got hit, especially so early on, but you know, what can you do, I guess? What would you do if your son was at home, crying all alone on the bedroom floor, and the only way to feed him was to sleep with a man for a little bit of money? I shouldn't make light of that song. It's about a fairly, not even a fairly, like a very serious topic. But it is also very good. Also, I did not realize that these guys did contact damage. What are these? Gun boots. Oh! Alright! That's cool. I like that. Also, we've got 90 casings. I should really spend them on something. Oh, no! A mini-boss! At least it's just Blockner. This guy's not too much of a problem, usually. This is actually the guy that you fight in the tutorial, if you don't know that. If you're, like, not somebody who's played the game yourself. If you haven't, and you are interested, I do encourage you to give it a try. Like, you know, it's easier than ever to give indie games a shot while also making sure that the devs get paid. Because, like, there's the Steam refund thing you can always do if you end up not liking it. People say that games don't have demos anymore, and that's, you know, it's true and regrettable, but, like, with the Steam refund thing, the actual fact of the matter is that it's more like every game has a demo. I don't think I've ever seen this one before, which it seems like a pretty just standard assault rifle type thing. Becomes more powerful while its bearer is armored. Okay. System to see if a bullet would hit its target. I wonder if that's like a programming joke. Because I know a lot of early like first-person shooters and such, rather than having... Hold on a second. Ammo belt. I think this just increases our ammo capacity? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. And I'm going to get some armor. And the rest can go toward the Nod Key Fund. Like, I know a lot of early first-person shooters, like Doom and such, they had hit-scan weapons, which meant that if the enemy was... Or did... Actually, I think Doom might have had some that had like, proper bullet momentum, but, like, if the enemy was in the crosshair when you pulled the trigger, it would just instantly take damage. Because, like, coding bullet stuff used to be very difficult, I think. I mean, it's probably still very difficult, but, like, it was, like, a thing people had to get right at some point. Which, actually, now that I think of it, is true for literally all coding, so, you know, never mind me. Without taking damage. Okay. Sure, that's like chump change. Oh, we don't have any. We don't have any left. That's right. Okay, never mind then. I guess because like I want to clear this room. So, bah, bah. Okay, let's give this bad boy a test. Fires slower than I assumed it would based on its appearance, but you should never judge a gun by its cover. That's a lie. If somebody's carrying around a concealed firearm, they're probably up to no good. Not always, but like a good chunk of the time. I'm just gonna use the t-shirt cannon on any other rooms we got up here. I have become bored of my pistol. I've got horses in the back. I don't know why I said that, because it has nothing to do with anything. Hey, how long do you guys think it'll be before, like, Lil Nas X and the BoyBoy West Coast get into some kind of feud? Or, alternately, drop a collaborative album and thus, like, erase reason to listen to any other music ever? Because one of the two, I feel like, is on the way. But we won't know which until it happens, which is a fascinating paradox if you really think about it. Definitely not just saying dumb nonsense that, like, maybe a third of the people who watch this will understand. We definitely want the ammo. I think I'm just gonna shoot the chest, though. Silver chest, not really worth it when we've already got, like, a decent amount of good stuff, and also very few keys. You was at the club. I was gonna try to make a Gungeon themed parody, like you just dropped some junk, and then I just forgot to do the thing where you replace the lyrics, so I just ended up singing the first few bars of Bottoms Up instead. Which was brilliant, and also, like, that is kind of my brand, is trying to be funny and not doing it correctly. You was dropping junk. There we go. Now, if I had thought of, like, a second line to rhyme with that first one, that might actually have been kind of funny. What if I just called this episode The BoyBoy West Coast? I feel like he's still small enough, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, by the way. Like, everybody has to start somewhere. I don't think a rapper being not super well known is, like, a bad thing. I think that mentality is very silly, in fact. But, I feel like he's still small enough that there's, like a maybe a 5% chance that he occasionally looks himself up on social media. And if that's the case, if I called this episode The BoyBoy West Coast, you might actually see it, which I don't know if that would be cool or, like, terrifying. Now, Mr. West Coast, if you're watching this, I am legitimately excited to listen to your album Life of an Essay when it comes out. I believe that's what it's going to be called. He announced it a few weeks ago. And again, like, I'm sure that doesn't sound sincere, but I actually am looking forward to that record. He has good songs. Like, other than the rather unfortunate line about eyes in Bottoms Up. Like, he's a pretty solid rapper all around. I have listened to some of his stuff on his SoundCloud, and it is good. Let's try out the strafe gun. Okay. Yeah, alright. This seems to be doing, like, a decent amount of work. It would be very funny to me And I think I just got hit, so now it's not going to happen. I was going to say, it'd be very funny to me if we managed to get a mastery round off of the 3rd floor boss, but not the 1st or 2nd floor. You know. Also, this thing fucking is cool as hell. It's funny, right? Because, like, in real life, basically abhor guns. I don't think... I'm about to drop some sincere political opinions on you, fair warning. I don't think that, like, the vast majority of people ever need one, or should have one. But, in video games, I find guns extremely cool. Especially weird guns that do things like fire exploding nails, just as a hypothetical. Let's pick up these 2 hegemony credits, and hey, one of the toxic shotguns. I think there's actually 2 of them in the game. Where did this come from? I don't know. Not gonna worry too much about that. And we'll use this for a while, I guess, because the membrane seems like it's a surprisingly good boss weapon. So I would prefer to save its ammo for that. We do also have the armored... Actually, we should probably be using the armor gun while we still have armor. Also, it's got like a fuck ton of ammunition left in it yet, and you know. You know. Oh, you can actually make this fire a little bit faster by, like... Most guns in this game, like, the rate of fire you get from manually pulling the button is, like, a little bit faster than the automatic, but this one, it seems like the auto is actually a little bit faster. So I should try to keep that in mind. What you got in here? Just a regular green chest. Not interested. Drop a heart piece or something. Thank you. Actually, I guess a key would have been better, but oh well. It did occur to me just now, also, continuing off of the tangent from earlier, because that's just how I am, I guess. Oh, this changes completely when you lose your armor. That's interesting. Continuing off the tangent from earlier, it did just occur to me that I also named an episode of the series Nas way back when it was new. So, if I named this episode The BoyBoy West Coast, I'd have 2 different episodes named after 2 different all-time greats of hip-hop. People watching this being like, is she kidding? I'll never tell. You can't fuck with my irony levels. Actually, you can. I'm like a pretty sincere person most of the time, actually. And in fact, I kind of get tired of, like, the irony poisoning that I feel like permeates a lot of, like, culture nowadays. I was gonna say millennial culture, but it's everybody at this point. It's not an age thing. Also, if I had said millennial culture, I would have been one of the people that's like, I'm not like other people my age, I differ. Something, something, something about listening to Japanese song lyrics. And I don't want to be that person. Nobody likes that person. Although that specific person probably was like 13 when they wrote that, and you shouldn't judge people too harshly for things they do at age 13 unless they're like genuinely heinous and not just like slightly embarrassing. You know, I've got a younger sibling who actually is subscribed to this channel, which is a terrifying thought for several reasons, mostly that I'm not out to my family, but anyway. Like, you know, teenagers say stuff sometimes, and it's kind of silly, but, like, if you're gonna give a teenager crap about, like, I don't know, liking the Sith from Star Wars too much, just as an example, then it's actually you that's the jerk, not the teenager. Like, you know, kids need time to find themselves. I'm 25 now, I think I can say that without coming across too hard as having, like, affected mentor tone. I hope so, anyway. The kids are alright. You know? I mean, hell, like, a lot of younger people, Gen Z, as they are called by the media, like, participate in, like, protests and stuff, which is way more than I was doing when I was in high school. I sat on my ass and existed, for the most part. Actually, there was a protest at my high school, but it was about the dress code, which, like, isn't not a serious issue. Especially in the case of the dress code at our high school, which was, in hindsight, ridiculously sexist, but, you know. But, like, it's certainly not as much of a, you know, all-encompassing thing as something like, for instance, climate change or gun control, which is what most of them kids, march for, at least if the newspapers are to be believed. Yes, I do still read the newspaper, but actually not really, because what I mean by that is that I read the websites of newspapers. Does that count as reading the newspaper? I don't actually know. This is getting dangerously close to being like another Real Talk episode, so let's talk about something else now before I get my head blown off by this Displacer beast. I think the actual game term for these are misfire beasts, which is a little bit of like a lower level pun than some of the other ones in this game, in my opinion. Okay, that was weird. Ah, I'm dead. Boom. Goodness, this episode's gonna be almost an hour long. That's okay, though. Let's just browse around the breach a little bit. Browse around the breach. And then we'll call it an episode. Magazine rack, chaff grenade. Wasn't somebody over here selling a new kind of bullets? Yeah, alrighty. Bum bullets. That sounds like a good thing to have. Yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. If you liked this episode, if you like my channel in general, there are links to my Patreon and Ko-fi pages in the description if you would like to support me financially. Even $1 is an enormous help. If you do not have the money or don't want to, likes, comments, things like that, also huge helps. Sharing on social media, you know, whatever. Like, anything you feel like you can do and want to do is huge for me. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Stay cool out there.